Wherefore, part 21. When Alfred wakes up, Tasha is curled against him and there is warmth where their bodies touch. Otherwise he is cold. He reaches for the duvet and pulls it from the floor and over them both. He thinks about the field, who he is in the field, who he is here. Everything has changed. Tasha is demanding, confusing, and exhausting, all qualities his former self would not have wanted in a lover. He has had to change a great deal to make room for her, but his auroch self is more than big enough. He can feel that bigger ribcage even now from inside this skin. It is more than a case of shape-shifting his body at the full moon. Whatever this magic is, it has shifted his whole sense of self, changed what he wants in his life and shown him a different sort of future. He may always feel the weight of his horns now. He may never again go through a doorway without hesitating. But this is fine. It is a small price to pay for such a growing sense of wonder. Tasha shifts against him and his tired body thrills at the contact. She can demand all she likes, he will do his best to answer. She is welcome to confuse him with her moods and sudden intensity, with her many ways of evading expectations. He will learn not to expect the mundane. And as for exhausting him, she can do that any time she likes. And he is delighted to note that for now she likes to exhaust him at every available opportunity. He has no expectations anymore. This is what it is, and he does not need to tidy it up into some more regular shape. As Tasha's ribs rise and fall with each breath, something of the auroch shifts in and out of focus. He can see her hide sometimes. Her shifting journey seems different from his, but he supposes there is no reason for similarity. They are all experiencing this in their own ways. His latest 2 cows are a little older than the first 3 and seem to know each other. They laugh easily, bellow cheerfully, wear their new skins with no difficulty. He still wonders if this is for anything, if there is a purpose to this growing herd of transformed people. So far there has been no sign of quest, task or opponent. They have not been called upon to do anything specific, they just are. It seems rebellious in its own way, resisting human habits of thought around progress, purpose and victory. This is not a hero's journey by the looks of it. This is wandering about with horns on because you can. Tasha makes a small contented noise, nuzzles against him, bites his shoulder, asks what there is for breakfast. Alfred is unreasonably happy. He revels in the unreason of it. There is always toast, he says, but there could be fruit, or cheesecake, or an obscene amount of bacon because I seem to have gone off it. Cow issues, Tasha says, and he can see her other face for a moment and is distracted by the soft skin around her nostrils. He wonders if other people can see the auroch in her, or if it is only visible to the herd. They are deep into the cheesecake and coffee when a small explosion from outside startles them both, Alfred sighs. Tim, most likely. Neighbour of yours? Tasha asks. Teenage son of neighbour. Bored, prone to setting fire to things. This is his first actual explosion, but I would bet it's him. He's on a trajectory. Rather you than me, Tasha says. There is a moist, whumping sound from outside. Expensive education plus emotional neglect plus long summer holidays equal this, Alfred says as he watches the smoke rise. I talked to him last week. He had a lot of questions about local history. He wanted to know who the Romans worshipped here, and then he started talking about how he spent last summer trying to summon a demon. This year, apparently, he's trying for a wizard trap. I'm sure that'll go well, Tasha says. She goes for more cheesecake. There is another loud bang, and some small thing makes a splatting noise against the kitchen window, and then slides down in a sad, smeary way. Maybe it was a very small wizard, Alfred suggests. Or maybe the wizard has quite exploded, Tasha replies. I feel I should check up on him, Alfred says. I think you are the adultiest adult right now, she replies. I'm the most appropriately dressed adult, he acknowledges, with a smile for the amount of curve that really isn't all that covered just now. Alfred opts for peering over the fence as the best way to approach Tim. The air smells acrid and evokes possible demon summoning activities. The once charming, expensively maintained garden is now smouldering or actually on fire. Tim is trying to stand his ground, but the woman in the garden clearly has the upper hand. Alfred is sure he's seen her around. She's part of the book festival, or maybe the film festival. She's one of those people who goes to events at the Good Shed. He does not know her name, but she is definitely part of cultural Stroud, and she is definitely cross. He arrives to hear her say, "Shows an appalling lack of manners." Well, what was I supposed to do? I've tried every way I could think of to get in touch, but none of you ever get back to me. Of course we don't, the woman says. I even tried to talk to someone after that thing with the druids, and he told me to go away and come back when I'm 20, which is loopy. You can see what I'm capable of. Exactly, and that's why no one will have anything to do with you until you've matured somewhat and learned some manners. That's ridiculous. You don't get a vote. I'll keep doing this until you take me seriously. I don't recommend that, the woman says. She takes a brochure from her handbag, unfolds it, and simply steps into it. Like that, is it? Tim yells. Think you can fucking fuck off just like that, do you? I'll bloody show you. And what do you think you're looking at? This last bit is clearly aimed at Alfred, who smiles over the fence. You might want to do something about those fires, he suggests. Tim seethes discernibly. Alfred goes back inside. I think he summoned someone, but she's gone now. Was Stroud always this mad? Did I just not notice? Tasha asks. I think it was a bit mad, but perhaps not this mad. It lacked for us previously. It did, Tasha smiles. We are a particularly excellent sort of madness. This seems like a good reason to kiss her, so he does. And they are so involved with the kissing that they do not notice when Tim's father comes back from the golf course and starts shouting in the garden. They do not notice Tim's mother coming back from her Sunday service and weeping with loud melodrama, also in the garden. Somehow there is cheesecake all over the place and Tasha's clothes fall off entirely, and they do not notice when Tim's demon comes home from wherever Tim's demon has been and tears Tim a new one in a painfully literal sort of way, and then is talked into fixing him again by Tim's mother, who is devout in her beliefs and knows how to show proper respect to a demon. They miss it all. But I think that had they known about the drama in the next household, they would not have regretted missing it, not given what they did to each other during that hour in the kitchen. Alfred finds himself to be the subject of some serious demands. He is less confused this time. And despite the prodigious amounts of cheesecake involved, he still ends up utterly exhausted.